The year is 1192. The world is in the throes of the Third Crusade, a monumental conflict that has drawn warriors from across Europe and the Middle East to the Holy Land. The Third Crusade is raging in the Holy Land. This is a time of intense battles and shifting alliances, where the fate of entire regions hangs in the balance. Christian forces led by King Richard the Lionheart of England clash with Muslim armies under the command of the Sultan Salahuddin Ayubi. These two legendary leaders are locked in a fierce struggle for dominance. The Battle of Jaffa, fought on the shores of the Mediterranean, becomes a pivotal moment in this epic struggle. The sandy beaches and ancient walls of Jaffa witness some of the most brutal fighting of the Crusade. Jaffa, an ancient port city, is strategically vital. Its control is crucial for the supply lines and the movement of troops, making it a highly contested prize. The battle will determine the fate of Jerusalem and the future of the Crusader states. Whoever controls Jaffa holds the key to the Holy Land. The Crusader states, established nearly a century earlier, are on the brink of collapse. Their survival depends on the outcome of this critical battle. Jerusalem, the holiest city in Christendom, has fallen to Salahuddin's forces. Its loss is a devastating blow to the Crusaders and a powerful symbol of Islamic triumph. Richard the Lionheart, a formidable warrior king, arrives in the Holy Land determined to reclaim it. His presence boosts the morale of the Crusader forces and strikes fear into his enemies. Salahuddin, a brilliant tactician and a symbol of Islamic resistance, is equally determined to defend his conquests. His leadership and strategic acumen have made him a revered figure in the Muslim world. Salahuddin, the Sultan of Egypt and Syria, was a military genius and a charismatic leader. His capture of Jerusalem in 1187 had sent shockwaves through Europe. This monumental event not only demonstrated his military prowess, but also his ability to inspire and lead his people through challenging times. Known for his chivalry and sense of justice, even among his enemies, Salahuddin commands the respect of both his troops and his adversaries. His reputation for fairness and honor transcended cultural and religious boundaries, making him a revered figure in both the Islamic and Christian worlds. He understands the importance of Jaffa. It's a crucial port for supplying Richard's army. Controlling Jaffa means controlling the lifeline of the Crusader forces, and Salahuddin is well aware of this strategic advantage. Salahuddin's strategy is a careful blend of military might and political maneuvering. He meticulously plans his campaigns, balancing brute force with diplomatic finesse to outmaneuver his opponents. He knows he can't defeat Richard in open battle. Instead, he aims to weaken the Crusader forces through a war of attrition. He uses hit-and-run tactics, harasses supply lines, and disrupts their logistics to slowly erode their strength, and attempts to draw Richard into a protracted conflict. By prolonging the engagement, Salahuddin hopes to exhaust the Crusaders' resources and morale, ultimately forcing them into a position of disadvantage. The Siege of Jaffa is a brutal affair. Salahuddin's forces, using siege towers and catapults, bombard the city's defenses. The defenders, vastly outnumbered, put up a fierce but ultimately futile resistance. Richard, preoccupied with consolidating his position elsewhere, is slow to respond to Jaffa's plight. The city falls to Salahuddin. This victory is a major blow to Crusader morale. It seems that Richard's campaign is on the verge of collapse. However, Salahuddin's moment of triumph is short-lived. News arrives that Richard's fleet has arrived off the coast. Section 4, A King's Ransom, Richard's Counterattack, and the Truce. This section delves into the dramatic events that unfolded during Richard the Lionheart's campaign in the Holy Land. Richard, reinforced and enraged by the fall of Jaffa, launches a surprise attack. His strategic brilliance and sheer determination are on full display as he leads his knights into battle. His forces, bolstered by fresh troops from his ships, catch the Muslim army off guard. The element of surprise plays a crucial role in the initial success of Richard's counterattack. The ensuing battle is a chaotic melee. Swords clash, shields shatter, and the air is filled with the sounds of war. The intensity of the fight is palpable. Richard, fighting like a man possessed, rallies his men and leads them to victory. His leadership and valor inspire his troops to push forward despite the chaos. Salahuddin's army is routed, and Jaffa is retaken. The victory is a significant morale boost for Richard's forces. Richard, magnanimous in victory, offers Salahuddin a truce. This gesture of goodwill marks a turning point in the conflict. Both leaders, exhausted by years of war, recognize the futility of further bloodshed. the toll of continuous fighting has weighed heavily on both sides. The Truce, signed in 1192, allows for Muslim control of Jerusalem. This agreement is a pragmatic solution to a prolonged and exhausting conflict. However, it grants Christian pilgrims free access to the Holy City. This concession ensures that the spiritual needs of the Christian faithful are respected, even in the midst of political compromise. Section 5. Legacy of Jaffa, a turning point in the Crusades. The Battle of Jaffa, though a tactical victory for Richard, did little to change the course of the Crusades. Jerusalem remained in Muslim hands. The Crusader states, weakened by internal divisions and a lack of resources, would continue to decline. However, the battle cemented Richard's reputation as a military commander of legendary prowess. More importantly, the battle showcased the qualities of both Richard and Salahuddin. Their chivalry, their respect for each other, and their willingness to negotiate a peaceful settlement amidst the horrors of war serve as an example for future generations. Section 6. Conclusion. The enduring symbolism of Jaffa. The Battle of Jaffa stands as a testament to the human capacity for both violence and compassion. It serves as a reminder of the enduring power of faith and the futility of religious conflict. The clash between Richard and Salahudin, two of the most iconic figures of the Middle Ages, continues to capture the imagination centuries later. Their story, played out on the blood-soaked sands of Jaffa, continues to resonate with its themes of courage, leadership, and the search for peace in a world often riven by conflict.